Yeah. Perfect. Will you look at the camera for me? Or you can stay serious. You don't have to smile, you can do whatever you want. Thank you. Good evening, and thanks for watching our last Humans of CSU show of the semester. I'm your host, Brynn Carman. To commemorate our final show of the year, tonight's theme is all about CSU history and tradition. It's also my last CTV show, which is pretty historic, so bear with me. There may be some tears tonight. To begin, I want to bring on a very special guest that was instrumental in bringing a piece of CSU's history back to its rightful place on campus. Welcome home, Old Main Bell. So Kristi, I was at the event yesterday and it was such a surprise and really wonderful to be a part of that. Tell me about your role in getting the bell back home.
I was really just the conduit between the person who still had the bell and making the connection back to the university. As I shared yesterday, I had received a phone call from an attorney here in town who said, "What would you do if you received the bell back?" And we had just announced the building of the Iris and Michael Smith Alumni Center, so I knew that was probably the intention, that they wanted to go with the bell, so we were able to make that into a reality.
Right, and like you said yesterday, the bell arrived on your driveway. Tell me a little bit about it coming to your house and then working with alumni and the ASCSU department to bring it to campus in this perfect historical unveiling way.
Yeah, sure. The attorney, when he called, had said, "I'll be back in touch with you." I said, "We can come pick it up, tell us more," and he wouldn't reveal any more. And it was just a couple of days and it was dropped off in our driveway at home. So my husband is in construction, so he ran to a neighbor's and got a lift and threw it in the back of his truck and actually drove around in his construction truck for a couple of weeks as it was, we were trying to decide, like, where can we store it and what is this? So that process was really, really interesting in bringing it back, for sure.
And you said that it happened this past spring, right? In February?
It was actually February of 2016.
Oh, okay.
So it was a year ago. Well, we sent it off to Ohio to be restored, back to where it was actually originally manufactured, ironically.
Wow, and was it in good shape when it came back? Or what needed to be restored on it?
It was in fantastic shape, actually. So the bell itself was in great shape with just a little chip on the bottom. The yoke was broken that held it, and the clapper was missing.
Right.
Yes, so it didn't take a whole heck of a lot to restore it. We did have to add some, they added, I didn't do any of it, but they added some support so that they could actually put it in the tower in front of the Alumni Center.
Was it hard keeping it a secret for so long?
It was in the best interest of the people who returned it to the university. So on that side, I didn't really feel like it was my story to tell. And I'm really glad that we took the time that it did to actually get it refurbished, because they became more comfortable in telling more and more of the history. And that's when we realized that it had been buried and all of those kind of interesting facets of the story.
So interesting. Did you hear anything onto why they buried it and more in depth of their process keeping it hidden?
Sure. They stole it in 1919. So
long ago.
I know, and it sounds like maybe there were only 4 men out of a really high tower, and this bell weighs 450 pounds. So I don't think they actually thought that they were going to be successful, and they got scared. From what I understand, they thought they were going to get kicked out of school if they were caught, so they went to one of their family farms and buried it. And that's where it stayed for 50 years, buried underground. Yeah.
Wow, I guess maybe it was a safe place.
Maybe, I know.
Maybe it was a good choice when they decided, oh wow, maybe we shouldn't have taken this. It was probably a smart idea to put it in the ground, I guess. Keep it away and hidden.
Well, and for us, it kept it in fantastic shape. I can't imagine what else may have happened to it for another 50 years of ornery shenanigans for students. Yes.
Right, and you were telling a story yesterday about it being rung for 24 hours after the Aggies would win. What kind of new traditions do you think it will hold in the new stadium?
I'm so excited to work with ASCSUs. You had asked that earlier. We immediately reached out. Here's the interesting part of it. Eddie, who is on the Traditions Committee of ASCSU, had actually reached out to Joe Parker, the athletic director, and said, if we, created a second bell, is there a way, like a brand new one that was a replica, would you use it at football games? once. So Joe Parker called me and said, you probably need to call Eddie.
You probably need to let him know that we actually have it.
Yes, so that's how that conversation happened. But it was all about the same time, which was really ironic. Yeah, so I called Eddie. He was ecstatic, and they kept it a fantastic secret.
Good.
You know, I didn't know how that would go, but Daniela, the president of ASCSU, was also fantastic.
Right. You had to let a lot of people know, and that's right. You had to trust them with the secret, because just one miss-up and everyone would have found out.
I know. Yes.
Well, I know a lot of people. There's an old folklore going around saying if the on-campus stadium ever came back to campus, the bell would be returned.
Oh, interesting.
Have you ever heard that?
No, I never have.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've heard that a couple times, and I thought that was, maybe it was just the timing of it. It was meant to come home.
I have it, knowing the story now, I know that the people who had it were feeling really anxious about finding a right place for it. As time went on, they started feeling more and more badly about having this bell. Yes, even though they were, of course, not the generation that actually took it.
Right, they were just taking care of it and keeping it a secret.
Yeah, so I think it was just the perfect time to actually bring it back.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and it's interesting, too, because we still have Comatose the Cannon and Painting of the A, and there's so many traditions that it's really going to be awesome for the freshman class of next year to be able to partake in all of it.
I think so too.
Yeah, and it's really cool where it's going to be placed, and what decision was made to have it go in the new Alum Center?
I honestly felt like that was probably the intention by me being the one that they reached out to on the university. And it makes so much sense. Our job in the Alumni Association is to bridge the gap between our alumni and our current students. So to be able to tie back a piece of history and then actually transform it into our current student traditions as well, it just seems like we are probably the right place for it. We're in a prominent location. The bell originally was to ring people to class, and then it became an athletic tradition. So I have a feeling that us being able to use it for outside of athletics as well as athletic events was part of the reason we were chosen.
Definitely. Now, where will it go before it is hung?
Well, I think they started on construction of hanging it either today or tomorrow.
They're not messing around. It's time to go up.
It is time. The construction company picked it up yesterday from our ceremony, and we're going to take it right onto the job site.
Wow, that's so exciting. I think
it's
it's
exciting.
Oh, just meant to come home.
Yes.
So very cool, very cool. Is there anything else you want to tell me about the bell and bringing it back, or what you hope students in the community will see with it?
I hope that the students cherish it. I hope students don't try to steal it again, obviously.
Yeah, maybe they need some security.
Yes, we will definitely have security on it, but I hope they do treasure it. It's a fantastic bridge between the past and the present, and I hope that it's one of those cherished traditions that future generations will talk about when they leave the university.
I think they will. I mean, I think the entire audience yesterday was just kind of in awe. It was history in the making and something super important to the community. So it was welcomed back with open arms for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, thank you for being on the show and talking about it. It's so interesting.
Absolutely, and congratulations to you on your last show.
Thank you so much, Kristi. I appreciate it.
We'll be excited to welcome you to the Alumni family.
Yes, that's true. I can come back and I can see the bell at the first new game in the stadium. So
yes, anytime.
I'm excited for that. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Speaking of customs, Comatose the Cannon is one of the longest running traditions at CSU. To many, Comatose replaced Old Main Bell when it was stolen. The cannon has been having a booming presence at football games since the 1920s. In the fall, I had the pleasure of doing a story on the iconic cannon, and since tonight's theme centers around my history at CTV and the history of the university, I thought we could show my favorite story again. Its name is Comatose, and it's the oldest tradition at Colorado State University.
When you're on the cannon, it's a lot of fun. Just kind of standing there, you get to watch the game as well as shooting 75mm Howards is a pretty cool thing.
In 1952, the cannon was donated to the university after being a training weapon during World War II. While Comatose is nearing its 100th birthday, Sam Fleshman, the cannon first in command, was a young Ram when he fell in love with this tradition.
Ever since the first game, when I first saw this fire, I was like, that's what I want to do.
Sure enough, 3 years later, Fleshman was not only a part of the cannon crew, but leading it. He says the experience has been a dream come true.
I just think it's cool being able to fire a cannon. It's something that no one else can do. And being up here next to all the fans, you really become the face of ROTC, and you get to meet all these different people. It's just a fun overall experience.
An experience and ritual that comes with a price. Fleshman says each round costs $35, which can add up depending on how many times CSU scores, leading Comatose to fire. He says the Army covers most of the rounds, and the university covers the rest.
They're not cheap, but the university is willing to pay for it, and we thank them for that because it allows us to keep this tradition going, and the fans love it.
Fleshman isn't the only one who makes this iconic tradition happen. He has a second-in-command, a cannoneer, and a team of usually 7 cadets that rotate between security, preparing and cleaning the cannon, as well as what he thinks is the most important part of being on the cannon crew, interacting with the fans, alumni, and veterans.
You get to meet a lot of people when you're standing on security, and just get to talk to a lot of cool people, typically a lot of veterans, which is really awesome. Good to see people and how they support the military.
Ray Kepler has dreams of joining the armed forces one day, but for now, this young fan is fascinated by learning everything he can about the CSU ROTC and grateful for those who serve in the U.S. military.
Thank you those who now serve my country.
Fans like Kepler are hard to come by, and that is why the cannon crew appreciate him and all the other Ram fans that honor the CSU ROTC and Comatose's legacy. Comatose will be moved to the new on-campus stadium in August, but will be located on the field. The Old Main Bell will also find its new home in the Henry Tower at the brand new Iris and Michael Henry Smith Alumni Center that is being built in the new stadium. Humans at CSU will be right back.
Tune in to KCSU, your student-run radio station at Colorado State University. Live 24 hours a day, every day at 90.5 FM and kcsufm.com. Live local new music now, and news, talk, and sports. KCSU, the radio voice of Colorado State, on the air since 1964.
You're watching CTV, produced by Colorado State University students, bringing you news, weather, sports, and entertainment from campus and beyond. CTV live Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. on campus and Fort Collins on Channel 11. Repeats at midnight, 8 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m.
The Rocky Mountain Collegian is your student-run news and information platform. Pick up your paper on campus or around Fort Collins Monday through Thursday with special editions Fridays. And check out collegian.com anytime for all the latest updates. News, sports, entertainment, opinion, and more. The Rocky Mountain Collegian, serving Colorado State since 1891.
College Avenue has been your student magazine for the last 10 years. College Avenue prints once a month covering topics that are relevant to the CSU and Fort Collins community. We also print special editions like the graduation guides at the end of each semester, the best of CSU each fall, and the orientation guide each summer. Look for us on racks around campus, off campus, or online at collegian.com under the College Avenue tab.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Is the third annual I Love Your State of Giving, a 24-hour opportunity for the CSU community to show their love for all that is Colorado State University by supporting their favorite Ram causes. Thousands of dollars have been raised today, and the Assistant Director of Annual Giving joins me now to talk about today's charity event. Thank you so much for being on our show tonight, Thea. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, right before the show started, I saw that you guys had already raised over $100,000. What does it feel like to raise that much money in such a short amount of time?
It's incredible. We're actually about $160,000. And I think it just really speaks to how much the CSU community cares about the university. And so for me, that's really special. It's just everyone coming together in one day.
it's phenomenal.
Have you even slept? Have you had a week, or just have you been extremely busy kind of preparing today's event?
I'll tell you, this whole entire month has been crazy. Today has been crazy. I've been up since about 5:30 in the morning, but there's so much energy that I don't feel totally wiped out.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, I know you guys have donors from 43 states in the past, and you were trying to reach all 50 states. What is it like pulling from such a big area to one university here at CSU?
Our alumni and our friends, our constituents, it makes up quite a big community, if you will. We have parents, faculty and staff, and people, they go all over the country afterwards. So we try to get creative with how we reach out to people. We use a lot of email, social media, we call folks. So we try to get to people where they're at and remind them how much CSU meant to them.
Sure. And I know when they do make a gift, this year you guys were matching it. So tell me a little bit about how that process worked.
Absolutely. So we have several different matching gift challenges. We have our largest matching gift is for the first generation STEM scholarship, and that's matching up to $100,000. We have some from the different colleges. So the College of Natural Sciences, for example, has a $5,000 match from one of their alumni, Terry Piddington. The library and athletics, their boards are also up for matching as well. So we have a whole bunch of different people that are very generous and have contributed matching gifts.
Wow, it's amazing and instrumental to this, to the university. We need people giving back to create all kinds of new opportunities for future Rams.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too how the gifts work. They can go, like you said, to certain departments or to certain scholarships. Has that always been the case now that it's in its, this is the third year, correct? So has that been the same in years past?
Yes. So our philosophy at the university is we want everyone to give to whatever they care about. We have, about over 5,000 different funds. So we really want people to give to what they feel is most important to them. The Love Your State Day of Giving does feature different friends from all of the colleges and some of our central units, but we are encouraging people to give to whatever motivates them today.
Excellent, excellent. And how many more hours are left to make as much money as you can?
So we'll probably get the total count tomorrow morning. Sure. Obviously, we have some folks that live outside of the Mountain Time Zone, so we want to make sure everyone has a chance to give. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to collect all of our numbers and put it together in an awesome infographic that we're going to share with everyone.
Very cool. And you are an alum yourself, so tell me a little bit about your time at CSU and why you chose this position and what it's like still working for the university in this regard.
Yes, so I graduated in 2007 with my degree in communication studies, and CSU is really, it was like my first home, my first sense of community, and I still have some of my best friends that I went to school with that are in my life, and I think what means the most to me is that I had the opportunity to grow just as an individual within my studies, as a student leader, and feel like after I graduated I could make a difference in the world. And so coming back to work at CSU, this will be my 5th year in July, has been a dream come true, honestly. It sounds kind of cheesy, but just coming back on campus and getting to walk along the oval and interact with students, it just feels really good every day, and I feel like I'm making a difference to a place that made such a big difference for me.
Wow, well, it's so wonderful that you feel that way and that you can give back to, the start of your education and the start of your future. So I'm going to be graduating here in a couple weeks too. So you got to call me or email me next year. And
we will, I promise. We won't be too pushy.
It's crazy that I'm going to be an alum. I can't believe it, but.
Yes, well, please stay connected. I think after you graduate, everyone, it's so exciting to kind of just see what's out in the world, but you're always going to have that feeling to come back home to your alma mater. And
definitely.
Yeah, stay connected however you can. And like Kristi mentioned, the Alumni Association has all sorts of ways to do that. So.
I will, I promise. Well, thank you for talking with me today, and I wish you guys the best of luck as you have a couple hours left on Day of Giving.
Yes, thank you so much too. And yes, we're trying to reach our goal of 3,000 gifts, so hop on to loveyourstate.colostate.edu, make your gift. $10 would be awesome. We have a lot of great funds, and we appreciate your support, and thank you for featuring us today.
Of course, of course. Good luck.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. That does it for our last interview show of the semester and the final interview show and CTV show of my career. I'm extremely thankful to have been able to call CTV my home the last 4 years. Throughout my time here, I have had a variety of positions that have challenged me and pushed me to the next level as I continue my career as a broadcast journalist. I've produced, anchored, reported, and managed over 200 shows during my college career at CTV, tonight making it 216 to be exact. The staff here at CTV has been my family, my best friends, and my support system. Throughout the last 4 years, CTV has never ceased to amaze me. I'm always impressed with the level of professionalism and work ethic the entire staff has on a daily basis. I'm proud of my fellow CTVers for being one of the few college TV stations in the nation to produce multiple live shows a week. I'm truly honored to have worked here and excited for the bright future CTV has prepared me for. For the final time reporting for CTV, I'm Brynn Carman.